Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video about my journey with minimalism and why I'm stopping it. And just a disclaimer, I do own more than this single plant. I do feel like there's this weird culture online though where people are just competing to have the least. But you know, on the topic of that, let me take you on a tour of my bedroom so I can brag about how little I have. So this is my bedroom. It's a step up from the car I used to live in terms of space, but all I really have is this backpack of writing equipment, the laundry machines, because this is a laundry room if you couldn't tell, the whole water heater thing and everything. Over there I have my guitar, and in terms of wall art, all I have so far is this old wine label and the giant wall calendar because I'm one of those type A people. This rug was just in the house and now it's in my room, and then under my bed I keep a box of books. Sometimes there's even a cat down here. I don't know whose that is. And then I keep my technology on the washer. I don't know how safe that is, but that's what I do. And if you're thinking, Claire, that can't be everything you own, where are your clothes? And to that I say, good question, now come follow me. So my closet is actually upstairs across from the bathroom. As you can see, I have a couple standout pieces there, but for the most part, all I wear is black and it's just different styles and cuts. I also own one single white crop top and a necklace. Okay, now getting on to the bulk of the video. First of all, I'm in my minivan where I used to live. I talk about it in every video, and I wanted to record in my bedroom, but the lighting's bad and I don't like being overheard by my roommates. I'm a very private person. So here I am in Denise, and I'm gonna get into the video now. So this first part is why I became a minimalist. So when I first became a minimalist, I actually had not heard the term minimalism before. All I knew is I was fed up with having a bunch of stuff. So I grew up in a household that was very cluttered. There was a lot of stuff that, you know, nobody needed, and subsequently my room was also very cluttered and I had a lot of things. But when I turned 16, I just kind of got fed up. I didn't like having everything sort of impeding on my mental space. I think when you're in a really crowded environment, that happens a lot. So basically one day I was just looking at everything in my room and something in my brain snapped and I decided to get rid of everything. And over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I literally filtered through everything I owned, got rid of maybe 80% of what I had, and I felt great. My mind was much more clear, I felt a lot less stressed out, and I really liked the act of getting rid of things. I think part of it too, being that I was 16, I think it's part of like, you want to feel more like an adult, so I kind of wanted to get rid of all that childhood stuff. And I felt wonderful about it, and then I didn't hear about the term minimalism until later on that year, I think, after I went vegan and I was like on YouTube, and like all the vegans were also minimalists, and so I got hooked into minimalism or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is cool, like other people who are doing this. And then, you know, as time went on, I just kind of got rid of more things. When I went off to college, I went up not owning a lot, and I came back owning even less. I couldn't stop getting rid of stuff. And then when I moved into an apartment the second year of college, that's when I really faced the fact that I didn't own anything, because my girlfriend at the time and I broke up and she moved out, and then I realized that all I had was like 5 shirts and I didn't even have a lamp, like all the electricity was gone. There were no regular ceiling lights, so when she left and took the lamp, I just sat in the dark and I had no clothes because I just wore her clothes. See, I'm a mooch. I leech off of everything. I didn't even have my own phone charger, so I slowly started getting a couple things. I got a phone charger, I got a couple more clothes, and then I was like, I don't even need this apartment. And I was gonna move out of the apartment anyway because my lease was ending, and so I decided to move into a car, which is this car. And that transition was very easy because all my stuff could fit very comfortably in here along with me, and this place kind of felt like a mansion. And so after all that happened, I finished up college, I went on my road trip, and then that leaves me to where I am today. And where I am today is somebody who is ready to start bringing things back into my life. But before I get to that segment, I want to talk about what I learned being a minimalist. So the first big thing I already mentioned, and that's just the clear mind space. I talked to other people who grew up in cluttered homes and are now minimalists, and they kind of experience the same thing. Whereas beforehand, having all that stuff around can really stress you out and kind of distract you from what you really want to focus on. Having the bare minimum really decreases all the decisions you have to make, and it just makes thinking easier. I was also very on top of where all my stuff was. I didn't really lose things, you know. I don't know, it was very peaceful, I guess. And then of course the other major factor is that it does save a lot of money in terms of clothing, in terms of furniture, and in my case in terms of rent too, since I lived in my car. But I feel like that's probably the most important aspect of it, honestly. And then another benefit I had of it is that it makes it a lot easier to move. I think in the last 4 years I've moved 5 times, and it's just been seamless. Like, I don't need a moving vehicle or anything like that. I just throw everything into my car, it fills up maybe a third of the space, and then you know, I could just transfer into the next place and so on. And then, like I sort of mentioned, decision fatigue, like Nowadays, you know, I'm not Mark Zuckerberg, I don't need to wear the same thing every day, but at the time, you know, it was kind of handy, only having one load of laundry worth of clothes and just, you know, going through those, and then once you're out of clothes, you do the laundry and you just restart. So those are the ways that I personally benefited from minimalism. Okay, now the last part, why I'm stopping, and what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you're not gonna be a minimalist anymore? This is what I mean. So I was on YouTube one day and I saw a thumbnail of someone's video called The End of Minimalism, and I was really intrigued because for whatever reason I thought it was going to be about interior design, because I have this sort of theory that since right now every cafe and building is super minimalist aesthetic with just like white walls and like green plants, I feel like there's going to be a huge backlash and everything's just going to be super kitsch. I think there's just going to be this kitsch revival where things are going to be cluttered and nonsensical and multicolored, but you know, we'll see if that happens or not. But when I saw that video I was like, oh, that must be what this is about, but you know, it was not. Instead, the person in the video talks about how there is an end of minimalism. Like when you start a minimalist journey, there eventually comes a point where you've gotten rid of everything that you don't need, and then it's time to start maximizing your life rather than minimalizing it. And I think that's the point where I'm at right now. Like, I know how few things I do need, and I know that I can live having very few items, but also like I've taken an interest in fashion, I've taken an interest in, you know, having artwork up on the wall. Like there's things that I want to add to my life that do give me joy. And in the long run of things, like I hope really one day to have sort of a stable living environment where I could get like a bookshelf and a wine rack and, you know, some plants, and I could just have a sort of space that's filled with things that I like. But what I'm using from my old minimalist practice is to only add things into my life that I truly value. I don't think I'm ever gonna be a super bad overspender. I don't think I'm ever gonna buy a lot of cheap goods really rapidly. At least I hope not. But I am slowly starting to like add more clothing items, add more gadgets, add whatever I can while not going overboard because I'm unemployed right now, thanks Corona. But basically I'm just ready to start adding things into my life. And honestly, the shift feels really good. It feels really good. It felt good getting rid of things, but I feel like that journey, I was sort of trying to find something within myself by getting rid of what I don't need. Now I feel like I know the things that I need and I'm ready to start adding things that make me happy. I'm excited to have things that I enjoy, and I'm excited to have things that I could share with others, and I'm excited to, you know, create and cultivate a space that makes me feel good. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. Leave me a comment below about maybe your minimalism journey, whether you're interested in it or not, things you've learned, stuff you want to know, just let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, comment, like, all that bullshit. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.